Hello, everyone. What is up? We are back with another fun Survivor What If video. I'm Richie. I'm here with my co-host.
Alex, hello.
Today, we are here to go for sort of the inverse of what we just did in our last video. Our last video, we did Survivor New Era All-Stars. This time, we're going to do Survivor pre-New Era All-Stars. And now we did have some rules with this where, again, they had to have played at least once before the new era. So, i.e., these are players only coming from the first 40 seasons. Anyone was eligible. We did try to limit how many certain people in regards to like first timers, second timers, third timers, four timers, whatever, and like all those people. But I think there was a lot of fun people we picked. We'll be doing it kind of the similar way we did to it last time, where we'll go back and forth between a woman, see some of her honorable mentions, and then go back and forth between some of the men, and then put in our honorable mentions. So, with that in mind, Alex, is there anything else you want to say before we start with the woman?
No, I think you get to start off with the woman first because you got second pick on the woman, I'm pretty sure, last
No,
time. So,
actually, you got second pick with the woman, and then you got first with the men. But
okay. So then, yeah, I'll take my first pick then.
what? Oh, so you're going first with the woman now? Okay.
But yeah, because we're switching off now because now I get the first pick and then you get the first pick with the men.
Swear to God, if you pick every one of my damn picks again.
I might. No, well, my first pick will be Amanda Kimmel for season 50 All Stars. She was planned on playing actually before the whole cast got revealed, and I think she got taken out like last minute. But she's a good player. Would love to see her back on the game as well. It's been a while since we've seen her, so I think she kind of encapsulates the whole season 50 kind of feel. So that is my first pick, and I think she would do a really good on this season as well, coming back for like your third time, fourth time playing. But yeah, no, she would do a really good job playing in this season. I feel like she should go far again. So that's my first pick.
I am also going to make my first pick someone who would be playing for their fourth time. I am picking Jerry Manthe. And Jerry is someone who I assume you were picking considering the little face you just gave me. Jerry Manthe is someone who I really think is an iconic player. She is someone who really just should have been on 50. I've said this a numerous amount of times before. Colby should not have ever played without Jerry. They heavily fumble that bag, and if this is like season 50 imagined as like all-star players from the first 40 seasons and not the new era. Come on, how do you not have Jerry Manthe? Jerry Manthe is the queen bee of the villains. I love Jerry. Jerry's always been one of my favorites. So I think Jerry would have a lot of potential, especially because it's been so long since she had her last season, which was her best performance. So that's my pick. Jerry, the OG villainous, one of my favorite players. Alex, who is your second pick?
Yeah, you stole it. I was hoping that she would slide one round under because I totally thought you'd be taking this
Okay. I will
person
say,
first here.
sorry, I will say I
Um,
almost actually did let her slide, and I'm like, you know what? I
because
better
I
pick her because I
think
had
I
a feeling
know
you were
who you're
about to
going
pick
to
her.
next, and I'm gonna take her. I'm taking Nellie Bolton.
Oh, haha, she wasn't my next pick actually, but she was like my third or fourth.
Okay. Well, I'm taking
Good pick.
Natalie. Yeah, she's the one person who I think we all think needs a second chance. But she is also an all-star as well. So like you can put her in both seasons and she would do well. Yeah, has she did really well in Micronesia. She would do really well in a returning season, and I feel like she kind of encapsulates that all-star feel as well. Big name, big plays, and just kind of a really well told character in her first season. And now I feel like given this like second chance all-star kind of cast here, she can fit pretty well and kind of play a low-key game. So that's my second pick.
My next pick, even though I am a massive fan, I'm gonna try to keep it brief because I could be here forever talking about why this person needs to come back for a return. Teresa Cooper from Survivor Africa, also known as T-Bird. The fact that she has not come back yet is a travesty. I do think a lot of people want her back. the fan voting in Cambodia was definitely probably rigged. I mean, outside of the Savage conspiracy, which if you don't know that, go look it up. It's actually kind of funny to hear into it. But someone asks me in the future, maybe I'll make a funny little 2 minute video about that or something. But long story short, T-Bird is an amazing player. There's so many opportunities that could have brought her back. She wants to come back. She's very popular with the fans. And I think even though she is a lot older than some of the other players who they're thinking of to bring back, I think there's a large chance that she would still do well just socially alone. And I don't think she'd be the worst at challenges either. So that's just my pick for my number two. T-Bird, Alex, pushing it your way for number three.
I might kind of go off script here. I'm kind of throwing a curveball here. I'm picking Kelly Wentworth as my third pick.
You scared me. I thought you were going for someone else entirely.
No, I feel like her game was kind of nullified pretty hard in Edge of Extinction, and I feel like, putting her on a cast with all returnees, like she did in Cambodia, she can really dominate the game. But it is going to put more of a target on her because of how well she played her game in Cambodia. That is going to probably make her a target early on. But I feel like in an all returnee cast with really big hitters, she might also be able to fly under the radar like she did in Cambodia until her big idol play. But yeah, like I feel like she is an all star and she could totally be on this 50 cast if they weren't being dumb. But yeah, she is a really good player and really deserving of a final like send off season for her.
I definitely agree with that. She like Edge of Extinction was such a weird season. I almost wish they would not have had returning players that season because then it's just kind of like then it's at that point it's just like it could have been like I feel like the returnees just got screwed. So I definitely agree. Wentworth needs a proper send off season. I think the same can be said for my number three pick. Someone who does need a good send off, whether it means they win, they go early, someone that everyone's been wanting to see back under screens for so damn long. I have Sydney from Ko Wrong. And Sydney from Ko Wrong, like very popular pick. The fact again that she's also not on 50, what the hell? It's like I've said, I think they picked a lot of the wrong people for 50. They were not listening. They were like in the hands of the fans. If you were listening to the damn fans, we wanted Sydney, Natalie, T-Bird, Wentworth, like a lot of these great picks. Like Sydney's an absolute beast, and I think that she would honestly do very well, especially compared to like Ko Wrong, where they were just all like borderline about to die. Like I think in a 20, even if it's at only 26 days, I think Sydney would still do pretty damn well, if not even better, because she's out there for a lot less time. Like she made it 37 days last time.
Yeah.
Would have been 38 had it not been for that weird twist they did at the end, but I was probably more for the medevacs than anything. But I think Sydney would have a lot of potential. She's shown it before, and I want to have a lot of big names on my tribe. Um, yeah. So Alex, you're up for your next pick. I believe it's number four.
Yeah, it's number four, and I did have Cindy on my list as well, but she was more lower down. Um,
Let's go.
the one thing that 50 got right was casting this one player. She dominated her season through and through, except for Pression kind of giving the win to this other guy. Chrissy is a really good all star and deserves to be on 50. And I'm happy they picked her to be on 50 because it was a really good character in her season and she really dominated challenges and the social game really well. Production really fucked up that season and they don't deserve to have Ben win that season. Period. Chrissy did a really good job, and I hope to see her do well in 50 as well. But she is a really deserving female player to be on 50, and I'm happy they did, and I wouldn't really change that either.
100% agree with that. I do think Chrissy's one of the few picks that got right for 50 since they kind of screwed her over very hard. My number four pick for the woman is another pick I don't know if you'd like this pick for 50, but I like this pick for 50. Angelina.
Okay,
And
that's fine.
Angelina
Okay,
is an all-around
that's fine.
character. What'd you say? You
That's
interrupted?
fine. I thought you were going to a different girl on 50.
Um, you'll probably get to that later on, I assume, but Angelina is someone who I really like. I think is a fun character. 100%. Like, I think she really earned her spot back for 50. And the fact that, again, they should have had more returning seasons in the mix. I'm happy Angelina's back. She's really funny. And I don't think she has the worst head on her shoulders. Like, I do think she is very aware of the game around her. I think the issue she had in David versus Goliath is just that she didn't exactly play her cards the best way. Like, she knew what to do, she just didn't do it in the best way, if that makes sense. But
Yeah.
Angelina, 100%. I really am excited that she is back. So, with that in mind, Alex, who is your final female pick before we get to my final pick and the honorable mentions?
My final female pick wasn't a big fan favorite in her first season. Kind of became a good fan favorite in her second season. I'm picking Abby Maria as my last pick. Um, she is a character and a half, and for a season 50, be a perfect send off for a character like her. Going out early or late would be just kind of chaotic and fun. And I have to have one chaotic person on my tribe. I can't just all be strategy people. So that's my pick for my fifth pick for the woman, Abby Maria.
So, with my final female pick, I definitely wanted someone who'd be a fun player to watch, but I also thought of trying to get at least a decent amount of representation. Because if we're going from zero or not zero, sorry, season 1 to 40, then it's like the 1 through 10, 11 through 20, 21 through 30, 31 through 40, like those four things. I wanted to try to get at least one person from every like group if I was able to, which was definitely very hard. And I thought like Survivor 50 fumbled the ball. Survivor 50 fumbled the ball in the retrospective. They had such an easy pick for a 20s rep and Brenda. Brenda is my final pick. I really like Survivor Nicaragua was
I had
my
her. I had her as well on my list as well. I was hoping you'd pick her.
Brenda is one of my all-time favorite Survivor players. My first season was Nicaragua. Immediately, I was like, Brenda is awesome. Like, I've heard people say that, like I heard it from Once Upon an Island that like they started calling her. I think it was the Lost Black Widow Brigade member, and I'm like, yeah, I agree. She's a great player, and I think, honest to God, like if Brenda makes it past her boot round at Caramoan, I think there's a large chance she could have won. And then our whole edit changes to be a lot more pro Brenda rather than let's ignore Brenda because everything revolves around Cochran and Dawn and everything. Like Cochran's a good player, but it's like, come on, we could have gotten like 10% more content towards like who the fans were. It's like I don't know if I want to blame. I'm not blaming Cochran. Cochran's a great player, great entertainment. I blame the editors with that. Snyder cut. That's like my catchphrase with these videos. I feel like, but Brenda, great pick. I would love to see her back, and I think because she would be more of a definitely far from a lesser name, but like she would probably be more of a random name compared to a lot of these bigger names, but she'd still be a big name in her own right. And I really would love to see Brenda come back one more time. So that's my final pick. Now we do have some of the honorable mentions we get to talk about. One of mine I actually had to go to because you picked Natalie, who was actually on my list as well. So I only have three honorable mentions. I don't know how many you have. If you want to go
I have
first, and
four.
I'll what's fine. You had four. Okay, get you say yours first, and then I'll say my three.
Yeah. So I should have five, but um,
Oh,
so
so you're good at
my
lying to me then. I
five,
see. Okay.
sorry, I miscounted, is Stephanie LaGrossa, which she's on 50, kind of deserves, good for her. Um, and then I have Sabrina from One World, very good player, could easily be on an all-star cast or like a second chance cast if she could. Um, Corinne, Lauren from Edge of Extinction,
Oh, that's a good pick too.
and Tasha.
Those are really good picks, actually. I love
Yep.
Corinne. Corinne is so funny. Her versus Philip
Oh yeah.
and Caramona is just so funny to me. I had three honorable mentions. However, I will add a fourth since you added in a fourth.
Yeah.
First honorable mention is Kelly Goldsmith from Survivor Africa. I really like Kelly Goldsmith. The fact that she doesn't get a lot more attention on her is kind of annoying. Like I really think again another old school player should have been brought back. I think they should be bringing back a lot more of the old schoolers at this point because I think it'd be a lot more interesting to see them because some of them really want to play again. Same thing with my next honorable mention from Survivor Marquesas, Nalea Dennis. Nalea is someone else who I think everyone's been wanting to see back for quite a while, especially since Second Chance came by. She and John Carroll were all like, I want to come back into the game, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, we can't have more Marquesas rep, more Africa rep. We have to get like 8 people from Australian Outback coming back, but we can't get more like I don't know. Like I really like Africa. Africa is one of my favorites of the old school, like original three. So it's like I would love to see more of that. But even Marquez love to see more rep and love towards that season too. So even though production hates that season because of the no flies. Anyways, anotherable anotherable another honorable mention. I was not actually initially gonna have her at all, but then I kind of thought it's like she's a legend at this point. I gotta have Saria as at least an honorable mention. I know she's your favorite, Alex. You're giving me that face. You're
Yeah,
blinking.
no.
Can you give the
I
face
left her out
again?
for a reason. Go ahead.
Okay. Um, my last honorable mention was someone who I actually wanted to try to fit in, but it's also like there were so many second chancers that I really wanted to see back. And I just had to not use this last pick in Sierra Easton. And Sierra's again another person who I really think is a great narrator. She's a lovable player to the audience. I really like her. I think it's just unfortunate that there were so many second chance names that to bring back that it's just she definitely just missed out of being on my list. So those are our honorable mentions. I think we should go talk about the men now. And since you took
You
the
have first
woman,
pick.
yeah, I do get the first pick for the men this time. And I think there's a couple of very obvious picks you are going to have with the men. I'm
Yep.
going to snatch this pick up because I don't trust that you're not going to take away one of
I
my
already know
favorite
who it
old
is.
school players, Sean Rector.
Who? He was on my list, but I wasn't gonna pick him first though.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah. I have like two people in mind that I hope you don't pick. So I'll let you have
Okay,
Sean.
well, Sean Rector is a legend. Again, like T-Bird, I think he's one of the old school players who should come back the most. Like, if you ask, like, actually, I'll say that for the end of the video because I don't want you to take another one of my picks I almost just said. Um, Sean Rector is so funny. He helped change the game. I mean, he and T-Bird were ripe for game changers, but no, they had to have Haley and Sierra Dawn Thomas. They had to have Jeff fucking Barner. No, please God, we need more Haley Ford on our screens. We can't have T-Bird and Sean Rector. No, we have to have a preacher for the third. Sorry. Um,
Hey man, Jeff loves his Worlds Apart cast, I guess, right? Holy crap. Crazy.
fuck worlds apart. Sorry. Anyways, okay, sorry. I really think it's annoying that they fumbled the ball with Sean Rector so many times. And granted, I know sometimes he didn't want to come back because of I think it was like certain diversity standards they had at the time. He was almost on 50 and they fumbled the ball again. And it's just they need to shape this shit up. It's like Sean Rector should have been back so long ago. He's my first pick. Alex, how about you?
I am going with another old school rep. Not so old school, but he's technically old school still. I am taking a guy who just got missed out of the picks for 50, and I'm picking Jonathan Penner.
I thought you were going a whole different direction there. You saw me. I was like, no, no.
No. Yeah, I'm picking Penner. He again was on like the final list of 50 casts that was kind of rumored, but I got kicked out of the cast and didn't really get on, which sucks because that would be a really good send off for him. One final season, going up with all returnees. Why not? He's a great character, a great narrator, great storyteller. Um, he's chaotic and was kind of fun to watch play the game. So why not give Penner a last heroic send off for his character.
100% agree with that. Jonathan Penner is someone who, like, again, I also heard was in the running for 50 and then suddenly was not in it. I'm sad. Penner is definitely such a great character, and the fact that we're like, I can be caught. Like, if he ended up in an all returning season, I think he'd be one of the few players to play in. He might be the only player at that point to possibly. Oh no, wait, no, Ozzy would probably be the other one. Maybe a couple others I'm forgetting, but one of the only few people at that point to play like a captain season, a half and half, a full returning season, and an all newbie. Like, how cool would that have been for Penner to have checked
right?
that
Yeah.
box up? Like, Penner is such a great player, and I think he would. It'd be great to see him go up against my number two pick, Rob Cesternino, and
Mhm.
Rob Cesternino is someone who, again, why haven't they brought him back? Like, I'm getting so. CBS, come contact me. Let me start putting your cast together because it's very clear some people don't know what they're doing as much. I'm in touch with the fans. I'm not even fully actually joking when I say that, but anyways, Rob Cesternino, absolute legend of the game. He brought forth so much notoriety to the game, especially to his like character himself. I mean, one of the biggest things people remember about Surviving the Amazon is Rob Cesternino. And the fact that he only got one run in All Stars, where they had like other people, like Tina flopped in All Stars, comes back to Blood versus Water, where she gets fourth and almost becomes the second time winner. We have other people who flopped and went out earlier in All Stars, or maybe just didn't get the best run, whether it's edit wise or game wise or whatever. But it's like Rob Cesternino should have gotten the Tina Weston treatment. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, we want Rob Cesternino. So, Alex, who's your number two pick?
My number two pick was also in the running as well for 50 and just kind of got cut short. Played very well his first time. Came back, uh, and yeah, my second pick is Malcolm. Um, he is just kind of like he is like the Ozzy for like the new era, kind of, he's just like that all around like athletic dude. He kind of dominates challenges. He finds idols, and he just is just a very good storyteller and a very good player and a very good just all around game player. And again, give him one last send off and just give him a good season where he's not getting voted out pre-merge. Game changers kind of fucked him over, but yeah, give him one last send off and just see how he does because that'd be a really fun watch because now he's a lot more mature and a lot more wiser probably as well. So yeah, why not?
I definitely agree with that. Love Malcolm. Should have been on 50. I mean, we should have gotten more 20s rep on 50 because there are actually a lot of good like reps from the
Oh
20s
yeah.
that would have worked. And it's like my next pick would be a pretty good representation from the teens, the tens, whatever you want to call it. A second chancer who should have been back already and was one of the four I was alluding to before that I almost spoiled. My next pick is Shane Powers from Survivor Panama. And 100%, again, they've all, like T Bird and Sean Rector, they fumbled the ball with him. And, like, he's such an amazing character. Even if he's not as funny the second time, I don't think he's blunt enough to where he'd be at least, like, semi funny. And it's like, I don't know. It's like, we need Shane. Do I have to explain why? Like, Sean Rector, T Bird, Natalie Bolton, Shane Powers, the four old schoolers you need to have back on, like, regardless of whatever had just happened in the season. Those four are the ones you need to bring on. They couldn't even get one of them. I literally remember saying to someone, if I got at least one of those four, I'd be eh. If I got all four of them, don't care. Happy with the cast. No, we just had to see Aubrey for the fourth time. We just had to see Ozzy for the fifth time. We just have to see Joe back on Survivor 50. Sorry. No hate to any of the players in real life. Like, I'm annoyed with them as players, but not as actual people. Let me just rephrase that now so I don't get like spam harassed on Twitter or something. But like, I mean, Shane Powers, fun character. Alex, who's your number three?
I'll pick that guy from the same season as Shane Powers. I think we all know where I'm going with this one.
I
I'm
do.
picking Terry Dietz
I fucking knew it.
as season 50 All Star. You know, he kind of got screwed out because of his medevac thing in Game Changers, and yeah, it kind of sucks because he was actually doing pretty decent on his tribe as well, and he could have gone far. And I really think they should have brought him back for 50. 50, that'd be a perfect season for Terry. You already have really like a lot of good, strong players on that season. Terry's sure he's older, but like he still probably has it in him to go, pretty far in this game and make merge and kind of kick it with the young bloods. But yeah, Terry, a great player, deserving of a last hoorah for him. And I don't know why he wasn't cast for 50. Sucks.
I 100% agree with that. The fact he wasn't casted on 50, I mean, hell, Game Changers was right there too. Like, again, like, just there's so many
That was
great
like one of
picks.
the picks that made sense for Game Changers as well.
Right,
Was Terry?
right, exactly. So, my next pick, I was definitely stuck with a lot of these picks. There was one person I almost wanted to put in one of these last two spots for my guy's spot, but I assume you're gonna pick him. So that's why one of my fourth pick from Survivor Borneo, I have Greg Buis. And I would honestly argue that Greg is like the fifth person on my little list here. 100%. I would love to see Greg back. Super funny character. He's been wanting to come back for, I think, a while now, but it's just every time I think he heard either the time hasn't been right or something came up with like work or something. At least that's what I've heard about it. And that, again, another person I don't think I have to explain that much into. Like Greg's a character. We all like Greg. Like he'd be great in returns. So, Alex, who's your number four pick?
Yeah, I'll probably go pretty obvious. This guy's been cast for 50, obviously. Great character, great gameplay. Had a really good run in his first season. I'm picking Rick Devens.
That is not
Um,
the 50% I thought you were gonna pick.
yeah, I have some really cool wild cards on this that are mainly honorable mentions. But yeah, I've got to pick Rick Devens. If you don't have him on 50, why even cast for 50? He's a great player, a great narrator, great storyteller. Played a really great game his first time around. Second time around, see if he can do it again. Maybe he can swindle some people. Maybe he can just fall short. But again, great character, really great character, really great.
Okay, now I'm a little scared for my last pick because I know who I want for my last pick. I'm scared
Take
that
him.
you're not gonna pick the other person I almost picked. I'm kind
I,
of scared now, but
I might not. I might not actually.
you're sussing me out. Okay, I'm gonna I'm
I
gonna go.
guarantee you, I am not picking the guy you think I'm thinking of picking at all.
Oh, I don't know now. Shit.
The board
I'm
is
gonna go
wide
through.
open for you.
I'm going to just go with my pick. I'm going to pick Dominic Abate from Survivor Ghost Island. Again, a very notable pick. Um, again, like he almost won the damn game. I low key think he should have. That's just my opinion. I get why one though won. I respect it, but it's like I would have voted Dominic. So again, another player I don't think I have to explain well. Like a big thing with my side of the cast was that I wanted big names of people who, regardless whether they played once or twice, they were or three times or four, whatever, they were massive names regardless. And so that I wouldn't have someone slipping by. They were all big enough names where people would at least have some community that would say, like, oh, I'm happy they're back. So Dominic is my pick. Alex, who's your number five pick? The final pick you got for your
Yeah,
side.
I was gonna say this guy who made 50, but he's falling into my honorable mentions because I forgot about this one guy on Millennials versus Gen X. I'm picking Jay.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
you didn't pick the person
I
I
left out
thought you
I
were.
left out two huge names because I want to see Jay play again. I'll run over with my honorable mentions, but I'm picking Jay, my dark horse pick. He deserves a second chance, and All Star would fit his game perfectly. Big name, played a huge kind of like a swaggy style game. The blind side on Michaela, most iconic blind side of all time, probably. the way he played the game was so chaotic and just fun to watch that he deserved a second chance or even like all-star right now. And he is so good. I know I left out two huge names and I know I did it, but I'll cover it. And yeah, I'm picking Jay.
Alrighty, that's a pretty big pick right there. Honest to God, I will say my honorable mentions. I think I only had four, but now I have to mention the fifth one that I'll get to later on. My first honorable mention, John Carroll, Survivor Marquesas. Another, again, we need more old schoolers back. I think one of the biggest Survivor themes I'd love to see back, and maybe we'll do this in a future video, is like an old school, like all-star cast of who we'd want to bring back. Like maybe even second chances. I don't know. There's a lot of fun old schoolers I'd love to see back in a second return, you know? Like, I mean, Dina Bennett's one example, but that's different story, different time. Kenny Wang, I'm sorry if I'm saying his last name wrong, from Survivor Gabon, another fun pick. I think he'd have a lot of potential. And even though he's like has a reputation being like a gamer, I think he'd be like so fun and schemy, even if we only have him for like an episode or two. Like he's a fun player. Marty Piombo from Survivor Nicaragua again. When Marty and Brenna got knocked out back to back, my heart broke that season. Like I loved the both of them. There was such a fun like characters in that season. I feel like it was borderline Gabon part two almost with how they were just playing out of spite sometimes. But Marty's a fun character, and even though he kind of like other players I mentioned, like Angelina for example, like Marty knows how like he knows what's going on and he's trying to play the game. He's aware of it, just not playing his cards the best way. My last two picks kind of go hand in hand with each other for honorable mentions, and they are Christian and Davey from Survivor David versus Goliath. Christian was almost on my list, and I was like, oh, because it's like if I had a six pick,
Oh
100%
yeah.
he's on my list.
Same.
I was
Yep.
convinced you were gonna pick him. Davey's
I
another
dodged.
person.
I'll get to
Davey
it.
Davey's another person who is just Davey's a great guy. So I mean, I would have. I do think Davey is a great player as well. He really wanted to be there, and I kind of feel bad because if you know the story of Davey, he's basically been an alternate on like so many things. I think he was an alternate for like Edge of Extinction, and then he got called up to David versus Goliath when someone else flaked out or something. He was an alternate. I thought I heard he was an alternate for something involving Big Brother or The Amazing. It was some other game show, but like he's been an alternate for so many times. I kind of feel bad. Alex, who are your honorable mentions?
Yeah, I got a couple. Um, my first two were the two big names I left out for Jay, and that is Christian and Mike White from David versus Goliath. Both of them were kind of in that like, you know, they had to be in there, but I picked Jay just because I would love to see Jay play more than those two. Just because we know a Christian and Mike White's game, Jay's game could totally fluctuate from being like under the radar to like very chaotic. Um, and then I picked James from China and all the other seasons he played. Hayden from Blood versus Water. Reed from San Juan del Sur, and Josh. Either or. And that's it.
I just started thinking of Natalie Anderson now. Um, damn, she's like every time I think of San Juan del Sur, I think that's the first season I watched live. By the way, Nicaragua was the first season I watched in general, but Natalie Anderson's always one of my favorite winners. But I think we had a pretty good cast. I'll definitely like the last one. Put it at the end of the video. People can see it. So we do have a lot of really fun videos coming up for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this one. If you guys are interested, go look up Survivor What If. We will hopefully, by the time this is released, be starting on the Survivor 43 What Ifs. At the time of recording this, we are currently finishing the Survivor 44 What Ifs and determining the Survivor 43 What Ifs. And if you miss your opportunity by the time this comes out, stay tuned because then we'll have other What Ifs in the future you can decide for every season. We're going backwards right now, about to start 43. Alex, anything else you want to say?
No, I won't swear this time. But I will just be saying thank you for watching, and my list is better than Richie's.
You stupid little shit.
Yep. I said
Okay,
it.
I think my list is a lot better, but it's free to interpretation.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, all jokes aside, we thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. We have more videos coming soon. Thank you guys, and have a great night.